Hey, we are back, everybody. And we are going on to the losers match of Group C of the TLS round of 24. By the way, I saw some people in the chat commenting on my poster. Yes, that is an awesome Team Liquid poster on my wall. Yeah, TL swag. Yeah, I actually got it when it was TSL4. And you know how they had that thing where you could get like TSL4 Plus, and they would give you a free TLS4 poster and like stream like higher definition stream or something. So I was like, well, since I'm already getting the free poster and I have to pay for shipping, I was like, well, I'll just like buy other stuff too. So I got that poster and like a TL shirt, and it was awesome.
Awesome. TL shirts are great. I have one of the older ones, the winged horse ones. And I also have one of the
yeah, dude. I'm wearing my winged horse right now. See, I got a sweater over it because I'm kind of cold. But look, check it out, check it out. Oh, represent. Okay. Sorry,
I feel
I'm
weird
sure some people.
I can't see your shirt. Well, I mean, I know I
true.
could if I whatever. Anyway.
Okay, cool. So back to the group.
Yep. I feel sad calling this the losers match because like they've already come so far, and to put them in a group and be like, huh, you guys are losers, like it feels a little bit demeaning. But I mean, I guess there is no other better way to phrase it.
Dude, didn't Blizzard change? Like they had a double elim bracket at BlizzCon or something, and instead of a winners bracket and a losers bracket, they changed it to the consolation bracket or something like that. So they wouldn't make
consolation sounds even worse. It sounds like when you get like placement ribbon in like. You know, like in primary school, and you do like the 100-meter sprint, and you come like 5th, and they give you like the placement ribbon or whatever, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, Keontae always came 5th out of 5 in his sprints in school. It's quite sad.
I was actually a good sprinter in school, surprisingly, in primary school. That is.
Did you wear those ridiculous glasses while you sprinted as well?
Obviously, they really help with aerodynamics.
Yeah.
As you can see, they make the air stop in front of you, and that way you push harder, and then you take them off, and when you do like proper run, and it's like bam.
They're a training thing. Yeah, I like
it. It's like altitude training, pretty much. But
yeah.
Anyway, so this is going to be a TVZ, one of the first one we'll cast today, anyway. And as you said, I mean, if Napoleon can beat Zeke TVZ in like a best of 3 series, there's pretty much no one he can't take on, because Zeke's play in general is just incredible. So I'm pretty excited to see what he can do here. But I mean, Jimbag, we know, can be quite tenacious in his games. He's played pretty hilarious games, I'd say, in the qualifiers where they sprawl out into these really weird situations, but he manages to kind of deal with it. And I'm interested to see whether that's going to be the situation, or whether Napoleon's going to take a pretty kind of direct route and try and sort of play the standard game.
Yeah, if anyone actually missed those games, it was Jim Raynor versus Draw, in fact, in, I guess, qualifier 3, maybe, in the semi-final, and it was a very entertaining best-of-3 series, so I highly recommend that, especially game number 2. But yeah, ZBT is kind of a different ball game here. It's a bit more scrappy, I think, from the Zerg, where he's kind of a bit more on the defensive all the time, where the dynamic in ZBP, I think, as a Zerg can be a lot more aggressive, at least in the early and mid-game. So, yeah, I guess we shall see what happens. Let's go into the game.
Whoa.
Losers match, or consolation match, if you will. Napoleon versus Jim Raynor. Here we go. And here we are in the game at the top right as the orange Terran. We do have SJ Napoleon, and at the bottom right as the blue Zerg we have Jim BG.
This game is unique. It looks like we actually have a different observer being forced out of the game, even though he was smart enough to actually host an obs version of the map. So, it's just a little bit different here as opposed to our previous. I found out was epoxide. Our
well, and I guess we now know that this Smurf account is in fact chill, so we know who that is as well. Yeah, good times.
Yep, Chill's been hosting the games for the TLS, obviously just so the players can make him go out. And apparently it was still lagging. So yeah. Anyway, nothing really happening here just yet. Looks like it's actually going to be a first scout here for Jimbag, so it's going to be a pretty good advantage. And he's actually scouting the proper way this time, whereas in the ZVZ he played, he actually scouted the wrong direction on purpose. Well, I assume it was on purpose. He didn't like accidentally click the completely other side. It's like, oh fuck.
He remembered the map wrongly and thought he was going the correct direction. He's like, wait a minute, that's not where the natural is. He just had like a mirror image of the map in his mind or something. That'd be pretty crazy.
Yeah, Rack's coming up for Napoleon. No gas as of yet, and I'm expecting that will stay the same. One rack CCs are pretty common on this map. Even though with the ridges, probably makes it look fairly viable for mech. Marine medic pushes are pretty common as well. Oh, it's a 9 pulse. Is it? No, 12?
I think it was an
12 pool gas.
It was something, and he's getting a gas. I think you're right. I think it was a 12 pool gas, and 12 pool gas usually means 2-hatch muta. I believe that in theory it's the fastest 2-hatch muta you can get, where the mutas actually hit the Terran before stim or range finish. So they're just like vanilla Marines, and they're terrible against mutas, which is quite nice for the Zerg. I'm not 100% sure on that though, so don't quote me on that, and don't be too mad if I'm wrong. Anyway, it looks like SCV unfortunately scattered.
I mean, if it is the 12 pool gas, seeing as we didn't actually see the pool appear, that is the correct analysis there. So I'll back you up there.
Sweet. All right, I got another Protoss player who knows nothing about Zerg backing me up on this.
Yes!
Yes! High five, my Protoss brother.
I gave you a high five through the air.
Nice, nice.
Non-existent webcam. And yeah, the really quick layer coming up here. So looks like Napoleon's going to get a scout of this as well, assuming he brings his SCV into the main, which he should do. And he'll know what's up. And he's probably practiced against this, because I'd say it's a fairly common build with Zergs who want to be aggressive. And obviously that's what Jimbag is attempting to do here.
Actually, I just realized... Wasn't he complaining about lag in the beginning of the game? Like, why would you go for 2-hatch muta if the game's lagging? Like
maybe that was the mind game.
Oh, oh man! That's so smart.
He put on some lag. Yeah.
dude, you're absolutely right. Like, he's pretending that he's seeing lag, because maybe Napoleon like didn't see any lag. He's like, oh, I don't know what this guy's talking about, but I guess he's like the game's lagging for him. But actually, the game is perfectly smooth. They're on like low latency and there's zero lag, and Jim's just pretending it's lagging. So Napoleon's like, well, I guess he won't go muta then. He'll probably go like lurker opening, because it's not a bad map for lurkers either with the ridges. And if he's lagging, well, I guess you can't muta micro, so no need to defend against 2-hatch muta. Oh, how wrong you are.
Lurkers aren't quite as good in this map because Lurker contains really aren't as effective in TBZ, because Sarahs are pretty content, like, after they move around the map with that first batch of Marines, they're pretty content to just sit back and get their vessels up, and you can't really contain a Terran like you can do to a Protoss. But looks like a secondary scout was sent in by Napoleon, was shut down pretty convincingly there by a good block by some Zerglings and some drones, and he's not going to know exactly what's coming. He'll have to probably assume the Mutalisk just because of the build, but again, the lag thing, that can play on your mind and be like, oh, there's no way he's going to do that. He's going to pretty much have to prepare for both, I think, at this point.
2-hatch lurker is quite rare to see though, so I would still, even with all the mind games, I would still lean towards defending against mutas, but I guess we'll see. His engineering base is not even started yet though, so that's kind of curious. He just went straight for the academy and is getting stim now. So he's not actually going to have any turrets when these mutas hit, which does not bode well for him.
Yeah, just starting it now. Obviously, probably hasn't practiced quite enough against this. Although I say that now, and every time I doubt a Terran's turret timings, they tend to be like perfect, because you're like, the Zerg will like stuff around for a couple of seconds, like grouping their Mutalisks up, and they'll move them around in circles. And by the time they get there, there's like 6 turrets, and you're like, oh, that didn't make any sense, but it happened. Another thing can be fairly effective against this kind of mineral rush is actually using bunkers to protect your mineral lines. And this bunker here at the front of the next is actually going to do a little bit of that. Not convincingly, but, you know, a bit.
Yeah,
and,
I mean, there's some maps where you can even fit a bunker behind the mineral line. I think Destination was a great example of one of those maps. Unfortunately, can't quite do it on Sniper Ridge. So yeah, the Muta Harass here is going to be supremely annoying. And oh man, look at this. The first turret just now starting. So these Mutas going to be a little bit of a shock to Napoleon. He just did a few of those Marines in. And it was like going to get a few shots off, but of course because he's got the high ground here, those Marines actually won't have vision for part of the time. All the Mutas are flying back and forth, but looks like slightly messing up on the Muta micro here, and I don't think he even has enough to one-shot SCVs anyway. So so not able to do a ton of damage just yet.
As I said, every time I doubt the Terran's turret timing, and he lost like 3 SCVs, and he's fine. So the Muta's going to come and swing into the main. There's only one turret here. He can probably just come in and burst this down if he wants to. I don't know if he has quite enough. He's actually just going to try and harass the barracks here, try and shut down the production facilities. But the thing about this build is that if you don't get enough damage done, you set so far behind. You've spent so much, you know, you've wasted so much potential economy getting these Mutalisks out super fast that it's almost impossible to come back from if you don't, you know, kill half their SCBs or win the game.
Man, this is quite dangerous though. Unfortunately for Napoleon, his turrets covering the barracks were not up in time, so basically these Mutas are camping all of any Marines that do pop out, although it looks like a few more Marines do come in. Oh man, he's taking a lot of damage on the Mutas, left with only 2 Mutas, I think. Oh no, it looks like actually it might be a few more. Yeah, it's more than 2. The shadow underneath is quite dark actually. For those of you who don't know, even when those Mutas are stacked, you can kind of get a rough idea of the number by how dark the shadow is. As you can see, when there's only a couple of Mutas, it gets a little bit lighter there. So a nice, cute little trick that you can use. But anyway, +1 attacks actually going to be finished fairly shortly here, and that's definitely going to help out. But man, he's actually taking so much damage on these Mutas. Really needs to be a little bit more careful with them, I think.
And he's going to drop a 3rd base now. And this is the pretty natural continuation of this build. You essentially just keep making Mutas, and you just have enough minerals to drop a 3rd base, and you get another gas, and you just keep making Mutas, and you hope that you basically just win the game with the Mutalisk without actually changing your tech at all. And that's why he has gone for the Mutalisk upgrade here.
Yeah, and well, hasn't done a tremendous amount of damage. Although having said that, the SCB count here does look a little bit shabby. Maybe Napoleon's just been cutting SCB so he can get all these turrets up, but oh man, looks like the Muta's actually found a weak spot here at the top right corner of the base, finding a little hole where the turrets don't cover, but the Marines are coming in. The Mutas might get trapped actually if they're not careful. Those are the Marines though, there's not enough Marines to actually go engage head on, so they're kind of waiting back by the turrets to give themselves some protection here against the Mutas, and pretty good Muta micro here from Jim, picking off what he can. Oh, taking a few more turret shots there, just denying full mining at the main base here. If you can get the Academy, that'll actually be supremely annoying for Napoleon. Won't be able to make any more medics. But, well,
fire bats.
Oh, I think he will get it. I don't think he wants fire bats though with all these Mutas in his base. That'd be quite amusing if he just builds around a fire bats.
But yeah, he's doing all this damage, but once again, I mean, he has to win the game with this strategy. If Napoleon can get enough Marine and medics together to actually fight these Mutas head on, it bodes really poorly for Jimbag. And yeah, he's got that +1 attack done, not getting any other upgrades yet, and yeah, he's shying away from these Marines, but has a fair few more Mutalisks coming in, replacing his injured Mutalisks, letting them heal up, and doing a bit more damage here.
Yeah, and he's still not transitioning in the tech. I was a little bit surprised. I mean, he's got his 3rd base now. It's not quite mining anything just yet, but you know that does give him the opportunity now to start, you know, getting some lurkers or something like that if he wants to. Of course, that would be the standard thing to go for next. But looks like he's just persisting with the Mutas. He's got more and more Mutas now. His +1 attack is done. He didn't actually get +1 carapace, which is quite curious considering he is still making Mutalisks. I would have thought if he's going to go that hardcore on the Mutas, he's going to get +1 carapace. Very, very effective against the Marines, of course, which are still actually completely unupgraded. But looks like didn't do that. And +1 attack is actually about to finish for the Marines as well. So once they get that, they'll be very, very, or much more effective against the Mutalisks. Although the Academy is
Napoleon got a really good scan on the main of Jimbag. He knows that he's still on lair tech. He knows he doesn't have any Hydroden or anything like that. He knows that these Mutas are the one stop of Jimbag's strategy. And he knows that if he can defend them, he's pretty much in a good shape to win the game. That being said, he is losing a lot of Marines here. The power of this +1 Mutalisk is quite brutal.
Yeah, 1 million turrets now in the main for Napoleon and still adding on more. He knows he just kind of needs to defend the mutas. Looks like one random marine has actually somehow gotten trapped behind the natural mineral. I have no idea how he got back there. An SCV now as well is trapped there. He's gonna kill the trapped marine kills the trapped SCV.
It's like, this is my spot, man, not yours. Get out.
They're trying to hide from the mutas, but he didn't realize he actually picked the worst spot to hide from them because it's so easy to harass over that ridge. But I guess the muta's focusing in the main. And is he actually doing 2 control group? No, he's still 1 control group of mutas now. But, man, doing so much damage here. And more importantly, look at his supply. He's at 72 supply against a 47 of Napoleon. Usually a turn's supposed to be ahead in supply, so looking pretty grim for Napoleon at the moment. Although the drone count is still not fantastic for the Zerg.
The +1 carapace is coming up now as well, about halfway done for Jimbag, so he's been doing pretty well on that front. He has almost enough Mutalisk. I think if he was using 2 control groups here, it could be pretty effective. Actually, moving back around to the natural now, probably left pretty defended, only 3 turrets, and I think he can just attack move this down if he wants to. Because his Mutalisks are quite potent right now.
I don't know, attack moving with mutas is generally not the best idea unless you have, you know, extremely overwhelming force.
Oh.
And oh, wow, grouped a couple of mutas in there and just losing them just like that, so that's not ideal. And look at this, Napoleon actually feels secure enough to move out now. I don't know if that's the best idea.
This is... I kind of feel like he's pushing out in a way to kind of just make Jimbag back off and give him a little bit of breathing room. He's trying to take up at the moment, trying to get to those vessels. If he gets a vessel out, he can pretty much just insta-win the game with 1 irradiate. Because, you know, there is nothing else. If the stacked Mutacon gets irradiated and he can't do anything about it, then, I mean, it's over.
This is
I think that might be the strategy here.
He's actually Zerg's actually getting a 4th base here on still just pure Mutatech. This is kind of crazy. By the way, Infected did exactly this against Project in Game 1 of their series in one of the qualifier semifinals. I wonder if this is like a Bulgarian Zerg thing to go for 2H Muta into mass Muta. Of course, they are both Bulgarian players. There's actually, like 4 or 5 Bulgarians in the round of 24. It's pretty crazy.
Do you know who does this when they play Zerg? Haya. This is like exactly what Haya does. When I watched his stream back when he first started streaming on Africa, he just does this. Like when he plays against Terran as Zerg, he goes mass muta and just keeps making mutas and bases and mutas and bases. And that's it. There's no overarching strategy. It's just, and look, he's actually getting +2 attack now. I kind of feel like he should get. So
what you're telling me is that Haya is actually Bulgarian?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
He looks a little bit Bulgarian.
He definitely does. He definitely does. I would believe that Haya is Bulgarian. I mean, Project is Russian,
he's
right?
Not standard. He's not standard Korean in any. He has like more than 2 control groups of Mutalisk now.
He's got so many he doesn't even know what to do with them. He's like trying to micromanage and get all the wounded ones out. it's like muta bureaucracy here or something going on. Look at all these mutas just chilling while these few mutas do the work. It's like a construction site where, you know, like the one guy's working and everyone else is standing around. Like this one group of mutas doing all the work and everyone else is chilling.
I do like that he knows his limits. Like, he's not attempting the 2 control group Mutalisk, because that can go so wrong. Like when you screw it up and then your mutas like end up in the middle of a clump of turrets and you're like, how did this happen? Like, where did my life go wrong? You know, like. And so yeah, he's staying within his limits and just pumping out these Mutalisks for all he's worth.
Oh, he got a Hydra Den though! He finally got a Hydra Den! Oh, this is madness.
He's not actually doing it with it, but he made it.
I don't think he actually knows what hotkey the other units are anymore, because he just hit, you know, he's hit M so many times, he's like, wait, how do I actually make a non-Mutalisk unit?
Man, Napoleon's SCV count is just grim. Almost completely gone in the natural. Has decent saturation in the main, but it's really, there's not enough there to mine off 2 bases effectively. It's just this constant harass, and he can't do anything about it. He has the vessel out now, though. This is like a ticking time bomb. If this vessel can get a couple of irradiates and get some good irradiates off that Jimbag can't split in time, this could go from huge advantage in Jimbag's favor to an even game. I don't think it's enough to actually just outright win the game at this point, but it's definitely enough to give him a good advantage. And I think at this point, he might be better off doing the whole unstacking your mutas and just attack moving stuff. Because he has so many. Like, come on.
Yeah, I don't know though. I mean, on the other hand, I guess the funny thing is if you aim move though, also they'll split up, right? So the irradiate will be a lot less effective and you can split it out easier.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it'll just be the Marines. But the thing is, Marines are just so ridiculously good against mutas head on that I still think it would be slightly foolhardy if he were to do that. I mean, you basically need like 2 mutas for every Marine for you to just aim move it like that. I mean, that's actually how inefficient they are against Eminem. Oh but God, having said that, he actually almost has that many. that is a stupid number of mutas. He's gonna surround him with mutas here. He's getting ready for a muta flank, and that doesn't even make sense. Like, they're air units. You don't need to flank with them. Just attack. Oh man, this is gonna be brutal when he actually decides to go. Oh god, this is gonna be crazy. There's nothing else here. There's no lings, no lurkers. Here we go! Where's the irradiate? He needs like the best irradiate in the world! Oh my god! It's like fastest! He's playing fastest! Oh wow! That went badly. I've never ever seen this in Brood War. This works in SC2, right? Because the mutas are pretty awesome, but damn, what?
Why not? I mean, irradiate exists, just don't stack them. And he's actually getting up to Hive now. He's got so many mutas, he could do a pretty, and he's got 2-1 as well. I mean, if he just makes a few Guardians, a few Devourers, I guess, I mean, just a bit of everything, like, dude, why not?
The only
up to
way,
5 bases now, too.
The only way that Napoleon can win this game is if Jim accidentally makes all of his mutas, he gets to 200 supply mutas, accidentally makes them all Devourers, and then, like, can't make any units, and loses all his buildings. Like, I'm pretty sure that's the only way that Napoleon wins right now. And then Napoleon, like, purposely doesn't attack the Devourers so he can't get unsupply blocked. That'd be pretty sick.
It's like Jim's actually going to make a couple of evolution chambers here now, so starting his
he's just drawing a happy face. He's not actually upgrading. He's drawing a face. Don't you see it?
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's like got a lopsided smile, but it's a face.
Yeah. It's like a guy
because,
like doing a bit of half grin.
Dude, the geyser is the cigar, so he's got a cigar in his mouth. That's why his smile's messed up. You know, he's got
so he's like lost half his face to cancer, or
no. He's just got, you know, like those I don't know, those old guys with the cigars who kind of like talk out of the side of their mouth, like while they're smoking. It's like that. So he's kind of like talking out of the side of his mouth right now, and the other half is closed, so he doesn't roll a cigar.
So not.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the smoke puffing out. See, it's like it's an actual cigar,
as opposed to a fake cigar. Obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, getting his melee upgrades, obviously, heading in towards the his hive tech, and yeah, I mean, irradiates at this point don't do anything because he's not stacking, he's not harassing, he doesn't need to. He's done so much damage, and Napoleon's just so far behind that, I mean, honestly, I don't know, man. Like, this feels like the draw game all over again.
I don't know why he's not getting Valkyries, by the way. He's got 2 ports, just make an armory, get Valkyries. More vessels isn't actually going to do anything, because as you said, the irradiate's not that good.
If you can get like 6 or 7 irradiates down at the same time, all the Mutalisks could pop. Like,
nah.
It's hard. It's easy when to split off 1 or 2 irradiates, and the irradiates are still going to be hitting, you know, 4 or 5 Mutalisks at a time. And with split up Mutalisks like this, I mean, the Valkyries aren't going to be amazingly effective anyway. I mean, they'll be decent, but they can't do anything else. You know,
yeah.
If a hive tech does come and there are defilers, you know, what are the Valkyries going to do? Absolutely.
You say that, but he's already made like 80 Mutalisks, so I don't think he's worrying about the next step. He's not like, well, if I kill the mutas and he goes for defilers, what should I do then? No, he's like, dude, there's too many mutas on the map. Oh god, oh, why did he go out with the vessels? He should have skipped them, but the Marines are so far away. Oh man, what, dude? Although the mutas are clumping a little bit.
Oh, they died. Oh my god, this is just.
That's disgusting.
I don't even.
I have never seen a legit 1v1 melee game look like this with this many mutas. Short of like a high level ZVZ, and even then, once you get to that level, you know, you have like snares and stuff.
They're like it's like a mower, and the Marines are like the grass, and then the mower just like runs over, and it all just disappears.
This is amazing.
Nuts.
Jim Bag, everybody, Jim Bag, I'm so sorry I didn't vote for you in the staff picks.
Nobody voted for him.
I know. Nobody picked Jim Bag, but I think he's gonna knock out Napoleon here, and I totally picked Napoleon to get out of the group.
Alright, well, I mean,
Oh god.
we all make mistakes. Humbly fall on our swords. We're sorry, Jim Bag. We're so sorry. Although, I mean, he's not out of the woods yet. I mean, even if he does win this game, and I mean, that's probably going to happen at this point. I mean, it's not... He still has to win another one to get out. I mean, it's not done and dusted.
Even if he doesn't get out of the group, I think this game alone... I wonder
One
who...
of the hearts of the audience, I think.
I wonder how many people liquid-betted Jim, because they must be feeling pretty smart right now. I seriously thought he had no chance against Napoleon.
Look at the mini-map! Look at the mini-map! Oh my god. Oh, jeez.
Run away! Run away! Irradiate more! He's got one more irradiate! Irradiate more!
Oh my god, are they all gonna die to irradiate? Oh my god. Oh.
Dude, he should eraser it! He should irradiate his vessels! Oh man, he should have erasered it. That would have been amazing. He should have dematrixed and irradiated his own vessels and tried to eraser everything. Also, did he just lose like 80 supply
lost like
news?
100 supply of realist.
He was almost maxed and he's at 108 now. But he's making Guardians though, so I think it's gonna end the game. The Guardians will actually just kill everything. Wow.
This is,
good times. He's also taken like basically every other base on the map.
This is how to ineffectively win a game by Jim Bag.
You know, I bet Droll's actually going to be pretty mad now because basically Jim outshone him in his own group. Like, you know, because Droll, he, you know, I'm not gonna lie, he likes the attention, right? He made a Mana Nexus. He tries to be cool, but...
Well, no, he lost all respect when he cancelled the Mana Nexus.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
You can't make a Mana Nexus, cancel it, and expect anyone to take you seriously as a person. That's not reasonable. And Science Missile is going down pretty easily there. He's suiciding the irradiated Guardians because it's easier than moving them away. Why not? And I mean, Napoleon, I'm going to be honest here, has pretty fantasy G timing. Like, actually, I remember a fantasy game where there were Guardians in his base and he didn't DG and he had like one Starport and a Wraith and like an SCV. And he was like trying to win the game. It was against. Actually, I wrote a battle report of it for SPL. Now that this game's over.
Well, at least this time, it's not like that first game Napoleon played against Droll. At least this time, he's actually going to be knocked out of the tournament if he loses. So.
Oh.
Well.
Wait. I thought you were like making fun of him because he was actually losing.
No.
But then you were like being like, oh, it makes sense. But
yeah. Makes sense. I mean, he already had a fantasy GG timing in the first game against Droll, so he's just doing it again. In a legit game.
He's attacking with 12 Marines and 2 medics.
Maybe he doesn't realize every other base is taken. Maybe he's like, I wonder if the Zerg's still on 2 bases and going all in, and I can just kill his bases right now. Maybe I can just eliminate all his buildings first before he kills me.
It just... I don't get it.
Look at him microing the one Marine like he's Boxer or something. GG! That was so good. Did you see that? They just like ran the circle with the Marine.
I mean, it's exactly the same as Dorian. Like, he doesn't give up. Like, he keeps trying. I mean, this is like, he's not like, you know how in Pro League you'd see like, you know, the defeated player would like put his head down and like be microing with like one hand, like real sad and stuff. Napoleon, like, he's fucking hardcore right to the end. Like, he doesn't stop. And it's admirable and it's kind of silly at the same time.
Good times.
Yeah.
Alright. Jim Bag fighting. Now I want him to get out of the group. Go Jim Bag. I mean, my liquid bet's already screwed, so Jim Bag fighting! Alright, so we're going to have one more game for this group, and then we're going to do another group, but the last game of this group is going to be South Park versus Jim. One of those players is going to go on to the round of 16, and the other one will be eliminated. So it's going to be pretty tense. Is Jim going to get out? It's going to be a rematch from set number 2, and we'll bring you that game right after this break. BRB.